Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also thank the Honourable Member for her question. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Fijian government has sanctioned a reform of the Local Government Act as a whole. The first area of reform involved merging the two types of local government of the past into one. That is, the former rural local authorities were abolished and key functions given to the municipal councils. This was done in 2018, where the government provided funding for the provision of allocated services. Mr. Speaker, sir, I just want to highlight that this exercise is extremely important. There was a 3-member committee appointed at one time to review the functions and the work of municipal councils, and it was found that some municipal council was kept smaller out of fear that political control would be lost. And also, the other problem was that there was no boundary extension, so peri-urban areas did not develop the way it should have. So haphazard development was seen in the peri-urban areas. Now, with the inclusion of the rural local area boundary into municipal council is able to monitor the development in that area. Second area of reform is the review of the municipal services with an aim to promote ease of doing business. This has seen the removal of the Business Licensing Act, which has reduced administration loading on municipal councils. Third area of reform is the change in the fiscal year of municipal councils from calendar year to the government financial year. This was to ensure consistency and uniformity with the national fiscal policies, which allows better monitoring of projects from planning to completion in line with the Fiji government's budget announcement. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are other legislation that have an impact on the review of the Local Government Act 1972. These legislations are currently being reviewed and includes the Public Health Act, the Town Planning Act, the Subdivision of Land Act. Mr. Speaker, sir, the reforms of the Local Government Act could not be done without reviewing the Town Planning Act and the Subdivision of Land Act, because these legislations govern the operations of the municipal council services. For example, the application for building, subdivision, and rezoning are processed at the municipal councils before it is forwarded to Department of Town and Country Planning. As I mentioned earlier in this House, the review of Town Planning Act and the Subdivision of Lands Act was completed, and the discussions are going on with the Solicitor General's office. So there is a draft legislation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry has been carrying out gradual reforms to the Local Government Act and the systems and processes of municipal councils. These changes are fundamental and necessary to make municipal councils efficient and effective. Mr. Speaker, sir, the review of the Local Government Act requires new scoping given the new framework of the local government operations with the inclusion of the rural local area. It is significant to note that the Ministry has prepared a background or issues paper to guide the drafting of Cabinet paper to further reform the Local Government Act. In addition, a terms of reference for the Local Government Act Review Committee has been prepared that provides the scope of work. Mr. Speaker, sir, based on the background paper and the terms of reference, the Ministry developed a draft Cabinet paper that will require Cabinet's endorsement prior to undertaking this exercise. The Ministry has proposed process in relation to this review. Firstly, we need to look at key strategic and policy-based issues on what a local government is expected to do, how it should be structured to do this. What are the right governance and management structures that should be in place, and what mechanisms should be in place to monitor performance. We also need to review international good practices for relevance to Fiji, and the second phase will encompass capturing the views of all stakeholders through comprehensive public consultation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.